2 years after my football career where I just hit complete rock bottom and couldn't stand what I saw in the mirror anymore. You know, all the escape valves were no longer working. The alcohol, the weed, the 2.5 hours in the gym, the porn, like nothing was bringing me any relief anymore. And something had to change. Because I was looking at myself in the mirror going, I'm going to either kill myself or I'm going to get clean. I'm going to change how I'm living. I'm going to change my entire existence, like how I'm operating, because this isn't working for me anymore. And that rock bottom can be a complete blessing. It was a blessing for me. Like, I feel so grateful that I hit complete rock bottom at 29, 30 years old, you know, which was so stark that it was change or die, literally. And I, had a complete breakdown and found myself in an Al-Anon meeting, which is 12 steps for families of alcoholics. And in Al-Anon, we say, I didn't have a drinking disease. I had a thinking disease, and that was the beginning of whatever this is now, which is essentially deep, deep allowance of self, feeling, allowing myself to feel, allowing myself to be a human being. How many feelings do we have in a day that we disallow, that we say, you shouldn't feel angry, dude. I'm too spiritually evolved. I'm too whatever, XYZ, to be angry. I shouldn't be sad. Who are you to be sad, dude? That voice that adds resistance to the already tangible emotional sensation that's arising, and just allowing whatever is there to be there, whatever is there to come up and just move through you without holding on to the idea that it should be different, because that's what it is, really. That's that resistance, and just allowing the things to be how they are, allowing the feelings to come up. I spent a lot of time in my life being told that it should be different, or thinking that it should be different, or believing it was wrong, or I'm wrong, I should be better, I need to be better. You need to be in better shape. You need to be smarter. You need to be more successful. You need to do this better. You're wrong, Eb, And that colored a lot of how I lived. That colored how I existed as a human being. And through the process of 12-step and therapy and really incredible mentors and plant medicine and yoga, breathwork, meditation, I've cultivated a really, really deep self-love and self-acceptance. And for me, that's where the freedom happens. That's where that freedom occurs, because inevitably we're going to come into those confrontations in business and in personal relationships where we're being confronted by someone or something, an idea, a situation that takes us back to that little 7-year-old boy who's got to do it right, who's scared, who's got to keep himself safe, who's got to be right and not hurt anybody or make mom proud or whatever it might be. And how long are you going to hold on to that? How long are you going to hold on to that idea that you're wrong or that you've got to be better? And how long is it going to take before you go, you know what? I'm a human being too. I'm a human being who has ideas and desires and boundaries and is allowed to feel, I mean, because at the end of the day, dude, that's what all the the fucking gurus, the monks, the ultimate spiritual beings that have lived on this planet, that's what they're here teaching us, is like, dude, there's nothing special about enlightenment. Enlightenment is allowing what is. And that gives you this immense capacity to endure discomfort, adversity, because there's nothing but what's in front of you. There's no added weight or burden of your own resistance to it. You know?
Mm-hmm.
Does that make sense?
It does.
Definitely.
It does. Yeah, I really appreciate the analogy you used earlier for the way, especially men, it's like you're taught to suppress certain emotions and feelings too. And I think everyone that's listening to this knows what emotions keep coming back to them. I think, fear is something the last 2 years that I've had to deal a lot with. And I was like, oh, if I just like look at my mind and I just jam it into this box in the corner, if I just jam it in there, it's just going to go away. And my analogy, I'm imagining like a box that you literally can't close. Like you're trying to push so hard, but it won't close versus like just attacking it head on. Like, wait, let me actually take a couple minutes. Like, why am I fearful? Like, what are the fears that I have? And then like writing them out on a piece of paper. Yeah. And then doing like a little bit of fear setting of like, okay, well, if the worst thing occurred, here's what I would do to solve it. And then you go through that exercise and you're like, oh, I actually don't need to be as fearful as I think. And if those things happen, I have a solution versus just like suppressing it, whether it's like fear, anger, jealousy, all these negative human emotions, but you never address the root cause of why you feel those things in the first place. And I've just accepted that we're human and we're just also naturally sinful. And for whatever reason, we do have those feelings that we don't like, but you still have to process it though.
What you resist persists, it just grows inside of you. And then it becomes a fucking ism, essentially, it becomes a disorder, like a literal, it'll become schizophrenia. It'll become anxiety, panic disorder. It'll become depression because you're resisting this thing that's calling out for attention. It's like, hey, oh shit, man, I feel scared as fuck. Wow. You just feel that. You just allow that to be there. You don't try to do anything with it. And then you can get clarity, and then you can actually go through an exercise and you can go, you know what? What's actually going on here? X, Y, and Z is happening. That's generating this sensation of fear inside of me. Oh, but if X, Y, and Z occur, then I can do this. There's also these other pathways. There's other options. There's other opportunities. Oh, I don't even have anything to be afraid of, And the processing happens when we just allow ourselves to feel it. And I think an important thing, Brett, because there's a definite line of feeling it, and that doesn't mean that you're going around blowing up on people, right? Actually, the allowing yourself to feel it is the thing that keeps you from blowing up on people. Mm-hmm. It's the thing that keeps you from having the nervous breakdown. When you're just trying to stuff it all in the corner and go, I'm fine, I'm good, it's all good, it's all butterflies and rainbows and champagne flutes, And then one day you just snap because somebody put the pencil in the wrong holder. You know what I mean?
Yes.
Like the tiny thing happens and you just explode on somebody. That's because you've resisted the feelings for so long. You've resisted yourself. It's like, dude, little Eb needs to be seen here. Little Brett, little Harry needs to be heard,